Well, good morning. So it's currently 4:20 a.m. and we are getting ready to head out to the car that's been charging all night here at the hotel. And then we're going to head up to North Sydney to catch our ferry to start our challenge to find the ultimate photo of the IONIQ 6 that we can. Hopefully, within 72 hours, we'll be back in St. John's with the car and an awesome photo. So let's get started. Good morning.
Forgot ahead.
Good morning.
Jeez. Good morning.
Thank you.
I've been up.
When you finish charging your electric car, make sure in a public place that you wrap up the cord nicely and don't just leave it all around the ground. A lot of people do that and it's just not very nice and kind of rude for the next person's coming. So make sure you wrap it up nice and pretty. There's something that we gotta do first that's really important.
Yes.
Welcome to Morton's. Can I take your order?
Morning, can I have a large double? Okay, we just stopped to get Tim's before we head onto the highway to get to North Sydney, and ironically we're outside a gas station in an EV, which is kind of funny, but the lights on this EV are really cool. As you can see, the pixelated lights in the front here, but if we come around back, it's where the coolest lights are for sure. So we come around back here, you can see these pixelated lights that stretch all the way across the car, which looks super awesome when you're in behind it. The brake lights are on the side, and this spoiler here actually has all lights on top and down below that light up the whole car as we drive and brake. Super cool, really cool looking car in the night for sure. And we have that ambient lighting inside the vehicle all the way around. We just put it into our GPS. It's 400 and what kilometers till we're there?
402.
402 kilometers to North Sydney. The car is showing right now that we have 500 kilometers of range, even though it's rated for only 435. Mind you, we've been driving this just around town, short runs, and only has 123 kilometers on it, so it hasn't really dialed in its efficiency yet, but still 500 kilometers of estimated range, 402 kilometers to go. We'll decide if we're going to stop for a quick charge halfway to top up and then do a full charge in North Sydney before we get on the ferry. But without further ado, we have our Tims, we have the car charged. Let's head to North Sydney. But I'm going to take a moment to talk about the charging network for when you're driving an EV. So we're using an app called Charge Hub. It's an app that shows you chargers on a map location. You can plan routes on it, and it will show you what chargers are active, what ones are being used, what ones are down for service. The only issue with it is that it's all based on users putting in that information. You might get to a charger, and if no one has used it for a while, you might be out of service. But it is a really good app to see where chargers are, so we are using that one to find our next charger. How the charging network works in an EV is that there are multiple charging brands out there, much like gas stations where you got Irving and Esso and North Atlantic. You also have charging stations as well that are different. So you got Flow, ChargePoint, Ivy. We used a Charge Labs last night at the hotel. They all operate the same. They usually have a universal charging input for cars and stuff like that. However, they do use their own apps for charging and initiating the charging cycle and paying. So that is kind of the one pain point, is that you might have to download a lot of apps when you're traveling with an EV as of right now with the infrastructure. When we go across the province here now in Nova Scotia and in Newfoundland, they have between Flow and ChargePoint chargers, and they are actually a joint company. They were two separate companies, but they merged together into one now. So if you have a ChargePoint account or a Flow account, you can use it at the same charger with no issue. Pretty easy to use. You just walk up, tap your phone or tap your wallet, and it just links right to your account, and the car just starts charging right away, which is super convenient. And we'll get to use that obviously as we travel back 1,500 kilometers. We're not going to be able to do that on one single charge, but it is something to note that when you're driving with an EV now and you're using public charging, you might need multiple apps. One really cool feature of the IONIQ 6 that is really convenient for us traveling now with a lot of camera gear that needs to be charging and whatever else is that this actually has a plug in the rear seats. Now don't mind the mess back here with all our stuff, but we're currently charging. It's an office, yeah. This is an office space, as you can see. But the cool thing about it is that it does have a plug. So right now we are charging our drone batteries from the plug back here in the rear, and it's charging up, as you can see. So super convenient for when you're traveling and need an office in the back. You have a full plug for a laptop, everything else. Awesome. So now we're on our way to our next charging station here as we go to North Sydney. We made it to our first charger here in Nova Scotia on our way to North Sydney. The car's parked up here. We're at a Flow charger, which is a DC fast charger. I got my app open. I'm just gonna grab the charger now, plug it into the car. Simply just opening that there. About 26% battery left, about 87 kilometers of range. So we're just gonna do a quick top up here and see how much charge we can get as we go. I think this is the wrong side. So, DC fast charger, plug that there. Go, just tap my card. All right, so we're waiting at our first charger here now. We're at level 3. We're getting about 49 to 50 kilowatt hours here. It says in 56 minutes we'll reach 80% charge. We're not going to wait that whole time. We just need enough to get us to our North Sydney charger, which is 150 kilometers away. We pulled in with about 80 kilometers left on 26%. So we'll stay here for maybe 20 minutes or so, do a quick top up, check our phones and stuff, and then we'll be on our way to North Sydney. Hey, how you doing, Mahler?
Good.
Good? All good?
Cold.
Cold, I know. I wish it was warmer.
It's so windy.
It's so windy. It's like 3-4 degrees out probably with the wind, but it is getting sunny out, and hopefully it stays.
I mean, it feels like we're home, so.
Yeah. All right, we've been here for about 25-ish minutes charging the IONIQ 6, checked a few emails and stuff like that. We've gained from 26% to about 82 kilometers, and now we're well over 220 kilometers in range and well over 50% of charge, enough to get us to North Sydney for our next charging station, and it cost us less than $7. Ready to go?
Yes.
So we switch back over. Again, Mahler's driving now pretty much to North Sydney. We're about an hour away, actually almost exactly an hour away. We have a beautiful landscape of just water. We're driving along now on the highway. It's 88.9 kilometers until we hit our next charger in North Sydney before the ferry, and it says we have 123 kilometers left of driving to go, and we've been driving for 51 minutes since our last charge. So we should have enough charge to get to North Sydney, charge up before we get on the ferry for this evening and go across to Corner Brook. Still on our way to North Sydney. However, we're getting closer, but we just got the warning that we are under 20% battery on the dash here. It's a range of 76 kilometers, and our route is about 50-ish kilometers away. So we should get to Sydney with about 20 kilometers of range left. Are you feeling the pinch, Mahler? Do you have any range anxiety?
Not at all.
Not at all? You're good?
No, I don't care.
All good? Okay, so we're gonna clear this out. We got 47.2 kilometers till we hit North Sydney, 76 kilometers of range. Let's keep pushing on. Okay, the battery is indicated red now on the driver display here for us, and we get a warning every probably 2 or 3 minutes that we should probably start looking for a charger. The issue is the charger is in fact 16 kilometers away. So we're just gonna keep going on and get to the charger and then get to the ferry. Another update, we are technically, I guess, pretty much in Sydney right now.
4 kilometers.
4 kilometers to the charger, 26 kilometers of range left. There is a detour of construction coming up, so hopefully it's not too much of a detour, because it is now 10:34 a.m. Our ferry leaves at 11:55 a.m., but we have to factor in a decent charge here for when we cross over to be able to charge in Port aux Basques. The car actually did really well with regenerative braking, giving us some extra range as we slowed down coming off the highway and stuff, which is a nice benefit of EVs over gas, is that you can actually gain back mileage just by braking, like something a gas car cannot do. Once you lose your gas, you lose it, which is kind of nice. How you feeling, Mahler?
Best kind.
Best kind, best kind. All right, let's go find our charger here in Sydney. We are pulling into the charger and there's no one there. We have 7% battery left, and we had how much range? 23 kilometers of range left. I'm gonna pull in now, do a quick charge before we hop on the ferry. So we did make it to North Sydney, and here we go, perfect. Here we are in North Sydney. We are now charging up. We're getting roughly 62 kilowatts an hour, which is a little bit faster than the last charger we're at, which is great because we do need that quick charge here now before we hop on the ferry to go to Port aux Basques. See how much that's going to cost us and how much range we're going to get out of it. It's a bit windy, so it might be a little bit of a rough ride over on the ferry, but the car has done awesome. Got us all the way up here only with a 20-minute charge for $7 and a charge overnight at the hotel, and here we are 400 plus kilometers later, and we're charged up and good to go. And we have our decals now stuck on the side of the car here, as you can see, matching our sweaters here. We're taking the Scenic Route, the IONIQ 6 challenge, as we go to Newfoundland now to find the best photo we can of the IONIQ 6 with the Newfoundland landscape in the background. This is our challenge in 72 hours to bring this car back to St. John's, Newfoundland, while getting the most epic photo we can. And it's gonna start right now. To the ferry.
There seems to be nobody else lining up.
Seems like there's no one else here, so we might be a little bit early. That's okay.
Early or late?
Not sure. Good morning. Good, how you doing? We do, yeah. 55 or... Is it? Oh, I was told not to, okay. Oh, 80 to 100 kilometers away. No cell service down here, so we can't 100% check with our GPS, but we should be fine to make it back.